I was saved from sin when I was going on 13, but not really saved. It happened like this. There was a big revival at my Aunt Reed's church. Every night for weeks there had been much preaching, singing, praying, and shouting, and some very hardened sinners had been brought to Christ. Then, just before the revival ended, they held a special meeting for children, to bring the young lambs to the fold. My aunt spoke of it for days ahead, and I still look back at it now. That night, I was escorted to the front row with all of the other young sinners who had not yet been brought to Jesus. My aunt told me that when you were saved, you saw a light, and something happened to you inside, and Jesus came into your life. She said you could see, hear, and feel Jesus in your soul. So I calmly sat there in the hot, crowded church waiting for Jesus to come to me. The preacher preached a wonderful rhythmical sermon. Then he said, "Won't you come? Won't you come to Jesus? Young lambs, won't you come?" And he held out his arms to all of us young sinners. And some of them jumped up and went to Jesus right away, but most of us just sat there. A great many old people came and knelt around us and prayed, and the whole building rocked with prayer and song. Finally, all the young people had gone to the altar and were saved, but one boy and me. He was named Wesley. Wesley and I were surrounded by sisters and deacons praying. It was very hot in the church and getting late now. Finally, Wesley said to me in a whisper, I'm tired of sitting here. Let's get up and be saved." So we got up and was saved. Then I was left all alone in the front of the church. My aunt came and knelt at my knees and cried. I wanted to see him, but nothing happened to me. Nothing. Now it was getting really late. I began to be ashamed of myself, holding everything up so long. So I decided that maybe to save further trouble, I'd better lie to you, and say that Jesus had come, and get up and be saved. That night, I cried. I cried in bed alone, and couldn't stop. I buried my head under the quilts, but my aunt heard me. She woke up and told my uncle I was crying because the Holy Ghost had come into my life, and because I had seen Jesus. But I was really crying because I couldn't bear to tell her that I had lied, that I hadn't seen Jesus, and now I didn't believe there was a Jesus anymore, since he didn't come to help me.